We live in a world that is absolutely terrified of the void. If a conversation pauses for just 4 seconds, psychologists say it triggers a primal rejection response in your brain. You panic, your heart rate increases, you feel a sudden overwhelming urge to say something, anything, just to kill the quiet. We treat silence like it is a problem that needs to be fixed. But have you ever met someone who does not do that? Someone who sits in the silence like it is a warm bath. They do not fidget. They do not look at their phone. They just look at you. It is terrifying, is it not? Or perhaps, is it actually a superpower? What if I told you that this ability, the comfort with silence, is not social awkwardness? It is actually a sign of a highly evolved, dominant, and complex psychology that only a small percentage of the population truly possesses. Today, we are decoding the minds of the silent ones. By the end of this, you will not just understand them, you will probably want to be them. Let us be real for a second. Most of us talk not because we have something to say, but because we are anxious. This is a psychological phenomenon called pressured speech. It is a defense mechanism. We use words as a shield. We think that if we keep talking, people cannot judge us. If we keep entertaining, they will like us. We are dancing like monkeys for social peanuts. But the person who is comfortable with silence has opted out of this circus completely. Psychologically, they possess what is called a secure internal locus of control. While you are frantically wondering if they like you or if you are being boring, the silent one is thinking something entirely different. They are thinking, I am fine. Now, let us see who you are. They're not withholding information. They are simply not desperate for your validation. And that distinction changes everything about how they move through the world. To understand this, we have to look at the brain itself. This is the part that might shock you. Silence actually changes the physical structure of your brain. A study published in the journal Brain Structure and Function found that while noise activates the amygdala, which pumps stress hormones into your veins, silence triggers neurogenesis. Specifically, it triggers growth in the hippocampus, the region responsible for memory and learning. When a person sits in silence, they are not doing nothing. Their brain is switching to something called the default mode network. Think of your brain like a computer. Constant talking and social scrolling is like having 50 tabs open in a web browser. Your fan is spinning, your memory is full, and everything is slowing down. Silence is the system update. People who embrace silence are essentially defragmenting their hard drive in real time. They process emotions, consolidate memories, and connect complex ideas while everyone else is just buffering. So, next time you see someone staring quietly out a window, do not pity them. Be jealous. They are literally growing brain cells while you are checking your notifications. There is also a profound social dominance to this behavior. Let us talk about how you can use this, because silence is a weapon. In negotiation psychology, there is a famous rule that says, he who speaks first loses. People who are comfortable with silence understand the power vacuum. When you ask a question and get a partial answer, the urge is to speak again, to fill the gap. The silent personality resists this. They wait, they maintain eye contact, and do absolutely nothing. This creates immense pressure on the other person. To relieve that pressure, the other person will often spill the truth, offer a better deal, or reveal their own insecurities. This is not manipulation, it is emotional discipline. The silent types are often perceived as more intelligent, more confident, and more trustworthy. Why is that? Because we subconsciously believe that someone who thinks before they speak must have something valuable to say. Scarcity creates value. If your words are rare, they become expensive. However, we must make a critical distinction here. Not all silence is healthy. There is a massive difference between solitude and isolation. Isolation is when you crave connection but fear rejection, so you go silent to protect yourself. That is pain. That is avoiding the world. But the psychology we are talking about today is solitude. People comfortable with silence do not hate people. They just love their own company. They are self-sufficient. They have a rich inner world, a playground of ideas, memories, and plans that is often more interesting than the small talk at a dinner party. They are not empty, they are full. In a world that is constantly screaming for your attention, constantly trying to sell you something, scare you, or distract you, being able to retreat into your own mind and find peace is the ultimate freedom. Consider the average day of a modern person. From the moment we wake up, we are bombarded. Alarm clocks, news feeds, podcasts on the commute, music in the office, television at night. We are terrified of being alone with our own thoughts because our thoughts are often uncomfortable. We use noise to drown out the internal voice that tells us we need to change or that we are unhappy. The silent ones face that voice every day. They have made peace with their demons, so they don't need to drown them out with noise. This level of self-awareness allows for a trait called high self-monitoring. While loud, anxious people are often oblivious to how they're being perceived, the silent observer sees everything. They notice the micro-expressions on your face. They notice the tension in the room. They are gathering data. This makes them incredibly effective leaders and dangerous opponents. They are playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. Let's go deeper into the concept of the alpha. In pop culture, we are told the alpha is the loudest guy in the room, the one beating his chest and dominating the conversation. But in evolutionary psychology, true dominance is often calm. The silverback gorilla does not scream unless he is challenged. He sits. He observes. His silence is heavy. It commands respect without demanding it. This is the energy of the person who is comfortable with silence. They don't need to prove they're important. They know they are. There was also a connection between silence and creativity. History's greatest thinkers, from Einstein to Newton to Steve Jobs, were known for long periods of intense silence and solitude. Why? Because deep work requires the absence of distraction. You can't solve complex physics problems or design the future of technology while engaging in idle gossip. The silent ones prioritize their mental energy. They treat their attention like a limited currency, and they're very stingy with how they spend it. So, how does one develop this trait? Is it genetic, or can it be learned? The good news is that it is a skill. It starts with desensitization. It starts with resisting the urge to check your phone when you're standing in an elevator. It starts with driving your car without the radio on. It starts with sitting in a conversation and letting a pause stretch to 5 seconds, then 6, and realizing that the world doesn't end. When you stop trying to perform for others, you begin to inhabit your own body. You become grounded. People can feel this grounding. When you speak to someone who is comfortable with silence, you feel heard. You feel seen, because they are actually listening to you, not just planning what they're going to say next. In a noisy world, listening is an act of love. It is an act of respect, and it is incredibly rare. There is a beautiful paradox here. By saying less, you communicate more. You communicate that you are thoughtful. You communicate that you are in control. You communicate that you are comfortable with who you are. And interestingly, people will begin to seek your validation. They will want to know what you're thinking precisely because you're not giving it away for free. Let us think about the long-term effects of this lifestyle. People who practice silence tend to have lower blood pressure, lower cortisol levels, and better immune systems. The stress of constant social performance takes a toll on the body. By stepping back, you are literally saving your life. You're preserving your energy for the things that actually matter. Now, imagine a scenario. You're at a chaotic family gathering or a busy networking event. Everyone is shouting to be heard. The energy is frantic. And then there's you. You're calm. You're holding a drink, smiling slightly, observing the chaos but not drowning in it. You're the anchor in the storm. People will naturally gravitate towards you. They won't even know why. They will just feel that being near you makes them feel calmer. That is the magnetic power of the silent personality. So, here is the challenge I have for you. The next time you feel that awkward pause, don't rush to kill it. Don't pull out your phone. Don't make a joke. Just sit in it. Look at the person. Breathe. Feel the discomfort rise, and then watch it fade away. You might find that in the silence, you actually hear what is truly being said. Because the loudest people in the room are often the weakest. They are leaking energy. They are begging for attention. And the quietest? They are the ones changing the world. They are the ones who know something you don't. If you are one of these silent ones, you already know the power you hold. And if you're not, maybe it's time to stop talking and start listening. The void is not scary. The void is where the truth lives. Embrace the silence. Let it sharpen you. Let it heal you. And watch how the world changes around you when you stop trying to fill every second with noise. Thank you for listening.